Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve here with Rake In Profit. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm here with Ted Polk, one of the founders of OAXray, and we actually had Ted on the live stream about a couple weeks ago before he went on his awesome cruise, and we have to talk about that a little bit. Got Mr. Ted Polk on the show, OAXray, one of the founders, and in today's show, we're going to be talking about how to source online arbitrage using his software X-Ray, and we're also going to dive into a little bit about some advice that he gave one of his student, but someone that he was coaching, and somebody he was coaching was making $100,000 a month $100,000 a year in gross sales revenue, and they wanted to get to $250,000 in sales. So we're going to talk about the advice that he gave to that person in case you're in that same boat. But what's going on, Ted? How you doing, man? Welcome.
Things are awesome. I feel relaxed. I'm back from a good time on the cruise.
Tell me about that cruise, man, because I know it was like you met up with some resellers, right?
So I went on the C-Commerce Cruise 2017. There was about 30 resellers there. There was people living all over the world who went to this cruise. And I mean, so many different business models. Amazon is just an awesome platform to make money on.
Have you ever counted how many ways you can actually make money on Amazon?
You know, I need to come out with like something
20, right?
All of the ways, at least 20.
There's a lot of ways to make money on Amazon. Anyways, guys, if you see me looking this way, I have my laptop over here, and I am actually looking in the comments. So I want to shout some people out. Looks like we have about 38 people watching live so far, and I know more and more people are going to be coming in. It looks like we've got Bobby Moon's in the house saying, "What's up, Rakin? Good to see you." Jen C, how are you? Murray on board. Miles Junk Removal asking, are we live yet? Yes, we are live, Miles, and we'll be in the feed answering questions as well throughout the night. We have Melissa, hey, from Maine. You catch the show, Melissa, that we had with Daniel Finnemore yesterday talking about his business, Box of Maine. If you haven't, check that out. Let's see. John Paul, excited for the show. Jose, what's going on? Rob, good to see everybody. Sonia. So we got a bunch of people watching live so far. If you are excited about the show and you want to learn about online arbitrage and how to source products from home, which, you know, about 3 to 4 years ago when I first heard about this, I thought it was like one of those scams, like one of those gimmicks. Like, how do you source from home? Like, that's BS. But it's actually possible. There's people who are doing really, really well with it, and it's a great way to get more products. And at the end of the day, if you want to make more money, typically you're going to have to find more products. So we're going to be talking about how to source products online from home to sell on Amazon, and maybe even more with OAXray. So hit the like button, leave a comment below. And before we dive into it, tell everybody about the 2 prizes. We're going to be giving some cool stuff away. Well, actually, Ted is. Talk about the giveaway and how it's going to work, the 2 giveaways.
So I have 2 online arbitrage books. These are from the original Chris Green, 415 pages, I believe. And we're going to give away 1 live. So if you're on the live stream and you hang out to the end, we are going to have something for you to do. I haven't even figured out what that thing is, so I don't know it. And we're just going to figure that out. But we're also going to figure out how we're going to give away something afterwards, maybe, and we'll figure that out afterwards. So if you're live here right now, you'll have a chance. But also, if you comment afterwards, we'll figure out what that is. You're also going to have another chance. So stick around.
I'm going to test your memory real quick. Would you consider yourself a guy who has pretty good memory, or do you forget things often?
I'm going to say I have an awesome memory, and I hope I'm not wrong on this.
Can you remember the word that we had everybody shout out last time that we were on the show to win the online arbitrage book? It was
virtual assistant.
2 words. Yes.
I remember that. Yeah.
There was like 6 million people who wrote the word, the phrase virtual assistant. And I think we're going to have to do the same thing tonight. We'll think of a new word. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming in. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the likes. 77 people watching live. Let's dive into the show a little bit. Can you tell everybody a little bit about who you are, you know, what you've done, your company, et cetera, and then we'll dive into, you know, the meat and potatoes of the show.
Cool stuff. So in 2008, I started selling on Amazon FBA. Whenever I found the product FBA, I was always shipping out items by myself. So I was up every night, shipping out 30 items, boxing them up. And then whenever I saw FBA, I was like, this is it. This is gold. I don't even have to ship things every single day. And I started out selling used books mostly. I didn't have a lot of cash when I started, and that's the best ROI whenever you're just starting. If you have a few bucks to start with, used books and just thrift store finds are how you get there. Over time, as my inventory built and I had more cash, I moved to retail arbitrage, then online arbitrage. And once my online arbitrage started, then I was like, maybe I can automate some of these things. And I hired virtual assistants and started building programming. And that's kind of how we are here. It was all my software that I was using personally for myself. And I happened to show it to some friends and they were like, hey, we got to use this. And that's how OAXray got started.
Nice. So you built something that you needed yourself and
Yes.
then people wanted it. So that's cool. That's really, really cool. So thanks again for coming on. Let's dive into this show. So this show is broken down into a couple phases. The first phase is we're going to talk about some advice that you gave to somebody, about someone who was doing $100,000 in sales per year. And you gave them some advice, like how to break down, like, on a spreadsheet, how to even get from like 100,000 to 250,000. So you can take this example that we're going to give you and use it for, your situation. Maybe you're making 10,000 and you want to get to 30,000, or you're at 50 and you want to get to 100. So backstory before we dive into it and we do a screen share.
Okay, so I'm a numbers kind of person. I know whenever I started my Amazon business, I was just running around finding as much stuff as I could. But I realized that I'm going to need some kind of goals and things to strive for every single day. And how do you evaluate a store? If you go into 2 stores and it takes you an hour to scan here, takes you 30 minutes to scan here, which one is the best stores? Which do you cut out of your route? So I needed a mathematical formula to figure this out. So that is what I recommend for people. I'm like, look at this formula and plug in your own numbers, figure out what your own margins are, and then you can actually make this work out for you in your situation.
I'm definitely a numbers guy as well, and this is a little different of an example, but I'm actually on a weight loss journey. Seems like I've been on one forever, but I've gotten very, very serious as of late, hired a personal trainer and everything. And the other day, because I'm really big into numbers as well, and like for me to hit my goals, like I need to write it down and like understand, okay, this is where I'm going. These are the milestones. Like, so I went to the dollar store and bought a big poster and I made like a graph out of it. And I've got like weekly weigh-ins, and like my goal is to be 169 pounds by June 10th. And I've got it every month, what I want to hit for my weight. And like, it's the same thing for like hitting your financial goals as well, which I've done. So let's get you on a screen share. Let's pull up that spreadsheet and we'll kind of break down how people can, mentally think about this, and also down in a spreadsheet or whatever they want, how to break down going from 100 to 250, or from 1,000 to 5,000. So you're on screen share right now. I believe everyone can see your screen. I've got you locked and loaded. So for it, man, you've got the mic.
Sounds good. So the person started out at an annual sales of about 100,000. Of course, I'm rounding some of these numbers, and their average sales price was about $25. So they were kind of doing this part-time. As you can see over here, their profit was about $30,000 minus any fees or anything like that, or not fees, but any other expenses that they had. And they were doing about 4,000 units a year. So I kind of created this table so that you can plug in your annual sales. You can figure out what your net profit will be. You can figure out how many units you need to find. But the important part for me was break down what you need to find daily and hourly, so that if it's you or if it's an employee, you can kind of figure out what each person needs to do, or if it's you, you can figure out what you need to find in that hour. So in this example right here, we need to find about 28 items per hour with an average sales price of $25 and make about $7.50 on each unit. That's what our average is. So if I walk into a store and I spend 2 hours scanning and I only find 30 items, I know that that store is not quite making the numbers per hour that I need to make to actually hit my goal. And everybody's going to have a different goal. So if your annual sales goal is a lot larger, or your average sales price is a lot larger or smaller, you can make the adjustments and kind of figure out what you need to do per hour. So you have these little micro bites of what you need to do per day versus saying, I want to make $1 million or $1 million this year and not knowing where to start. This kind of provides you that starting point so that you can navigate the waters and you can figure out what's most, or what helps you the most per hour or per day.
How much do you have to sell per day? I actually have a calculator out to do $1 million per year. I know it's like, isn't it like $3,000 a day or something like that?
It is. Let's see, an average sale. What do you want your average sales price to be?
We'll say 25 is a good example. I think my average sales price on Amazon, I think, is right around it might be like 18 mine, because I do a lot of books and stuff.
Yeah. So it looks
18,
like per day you need to, wait a minute, something. Looks like per day you need to find 109 items, but I might be off. I might have put something in the wrong place. Let's see.
Good at these formulas on.
Yes,
are you using Google Sheets?
Yes, I'm using Google Sheets.
I'm really bad at Excel, but if you're good at Excel, you can do amazing things, like in terms of like formulas and whatnot. It's pretty cool.
Yes, and I see what the problem is. I did E instead of D, so make sure your columns are actually correct here.
Yeah, and for the people who aren't using, if you have any employees or you're trying to manage your business, Google is a great resource. Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets. What else does Google have?
My favorite thing is slides, and I like the Word documents also. So whenever I'm typing something up, I love to do their Google Word. And the thing is, it saves everything for you. So Google Docs and Google, the Excel part of it, I like to use that because 6 months later, I might come back and I might be looking for something, and it's just all saved here. So I love to have a virtual assistant. I'll generally name it whatever the virtual assistant's name is, so I can tell, okay, 6 months ago, a virtual assistant sent me these deals. This is how fast they're going. And then I can look, are they speeding up? Are they slowing down? Like, what is the trend that's happening? So there's just so many things you can do with Google Docs, and I love the spreadsheets.
Nice. So I think it looks like if you wanted to make $1 million a year in annual sales with an average sales price of 25, you'd have to sell, is that 40,000 units per year?
40,000 units a year at 3,333 items per month, an average of 30 or 100 items a day, 110 items a day or so. And when you break that, my hours. There we go. When we break it down per item, we're looking at 4 or 5 items per hour that you need to find. And you're not going to be working that many hours. So let me actually.
Oh, wow. So you're actually breaking that down to equate to an 8-hour day now. So you'd have to find 13, a little over 13 and a half items per hour, considering that you're sourcing for 8 hours a day. Is that is that 7 days a week? Is your formula?
This is going to be for, right now we're doing 7 days a week. So if you're not sourcing 7 days a week, then you can possibly do a little bit more, a little bit less. Listen. There we go.
You're like a Google Sheet ninja.
Yeah. So if you're doing 250 days a year, let's just say that's 5 days a week, approximately. You have 2 days off for 2 weeks off for vacation. We're talking about 160 items per day and 20 items per hour if that's you out there. Now, if you have employees going out there, then you can actually increase the number of hours here, and then that's going to reduce the number of hours you need to, or items you need to find per year. But if you're solo, you're doing this by yourself, then this is kind of a good way to calculate what you need to be doing every hour. And hopefully it's going to encourage you to step your game up and just get as many items in as possible. And this is just a calculation that I love to use so that you can, just a simple way to figure out what you need to be doing every day. I know sourcing is the key to your business. The more you source, the more you're going to make. And
Yep.
it's just that's just the key to everything on Amazon, is just your sourcing, where you can find items as cheap as possible and make the biggest bang for your buck.
You know what I really like about this breakdown the most, Ted, is that it actually turns like a dream, like something that's so far out there, like into like something that could actually become a reality. Because in a sense, you do have like, it's a roadmap in a sense. Like so many people want to become a millionaire, and you might not even want to be a millionaire. It might be you want to make your first 6 figures, right, in 6 months or whatever. But by doing this, you actually in your mind and showing your mind, look, it's possible. Like I have to find this many items a day, this many items a month, this many hours. And once you figure out kind of the roadmap of, okay, this is what I have to do on a numbers basis, and then I think you have to move on to the next step, which is figuring out how in the world am I going to possibly do this? Because I'm looking at the chart right now, and we're just going to use the $1 million example, just because we're going to pretend like we're all ballers right now. Finding 160 units per day ages. So let's just assume anyone who wants to do this, maybe you're intermediate, more advanced. Let's talk about some of the ways that people this many products. Right off the top, there's thrift stores. That could be part of your sourcing method, but it's going to be find 160 items per day. Got garage sales, which of course has a seasonality factor right there. There's retail arbitrage, which is, Ted, you want to explain to people what retail arbitrage is?
So retail arbitrage is using different marketplaces and finding items cheaper on one marketplace and reselling it on another marketplace, and specifically retailers in this example. So some of the times, and I'll give you an example, this Christmas, the NES game system was like a retro game system that came out. You could not find this thing anywhere if you waited more than a few hours after they launched. But some people went to the stores, they grabbed these things for $60, and then they were able to do retail arbitrage and sell them on Amazon for up to $300, depending on your timing. So you're using inefficiencies in the market to be able to make a profit. So retail arbitrage is awesome, and it's how I got started early on.
And do we need to share the screen anymore? Do you want to jump off the screen share for a
Nope,
sec?
I can jump off of that. I think we're good.
Great, cool. And then there's what you're best at and what your software helps people with is online arbitrage. So you knew we were going to be getting to that. What exactly is online arbitrage for the people who are coming in? Because that's a great way to be able to find a lot of products, leave your home, which is very, very intriguing.
So online arbitrage is just like retail arbitrage, but it is done online. So instead of running out to all of these different stores, you can actually find items that are profitable online and resell them on Amazon. So the way I found out about this was in 2000, I believe it was 11, I was selling Christmas items, and I was running to the store and I was trying to find all these units. My store sold out. So I just did a quick Google search and I was like, can I find this product that's selling for 4 times as much? Can I find it online? And lo and behold, it was on Toys R Us for a quarter of the price that it was on Amazon for. And once I saw that, I mean, the floodgates open. I went through every single product that I had sold in the past 30 to 90 days, and I was searching everything that was profitable. And I was hooked at that point, because I don't need to spend gas. I don't need to run around to all these places. I can simply find those items online.
Cool, man. So how exactly does your software, OAXray, actually help process of sourcing online? Because online without software, and it was nearly impossible. And to be honest with you guys, I have never really had much success with online arbitrage. Granted, I've never really given it a shot. So how can your software start off with OAXray? I got to say, I love the name right there, man. For the people who are watching right now.
So Whenever I first started sourcing online, I was using a lot of virtual assistants. So they were essentially going to a page, they were copying the title, putting that title into Amazon, and it was just very time consuming. So whenever I created OAXray, I wanted to be able to do everything that a virtual assistant or multiple virtual assistants are doing, wanted to be able to do that myself in just a few seconds. So OAXray helps you compare the prices on a website like Toys R Us or Target to the prices on Amazon, and gives you all the needed data so you can make a decision. So this is really a time saver. Instead of hiring a virtual assistant to work for you 8-12 hours a day, you can use OAXray and you'll get the same amount of work done in a reasonable time. Or you can use a virtual assistant that can use OAXray, and then you'll compound what you're able to do in a minimum amount of time.
Is OAXray like a what's it called, like a Chrome extension, to where like you go to like a toysrus.com and it starts to break things down, or how exactly does that work?
So it's just that simple. You just go to a page, you click one button, and OAXray starts to run. We wanted to make it as easy as possible for the end user. Whenever I made it for myself, oh man, it was horrid as far as what it looked like, and I had to make it a little easier for the average person to just go to the page they want to look at, click one button, and everything just starts working. The magic elves start working in the background.
So I've heard of people actually using OAXray to snipe items off of eBay. So can you actually run this on eBay and like put in different criteria and whatnot to find like super cheap items?
So you can find items on eBay using OAXray if they have an ASIN or a UPC somewhere in the listing.
Oh. So which most of them do now, because they're like requiring it almost for most products now.
Exactly, and eBay is actually rolling out ASINs. So most items on eBay this year should have an ASIN associated with it. If there's an ASIN on Amazon, I think they are just trying to leverage Amazon's database kind of, and that's just one thing they're rolling out with. So I heard about that a few months ago. So once there's ASIN compatibility, you're going to be able to really be able to look at just about any listing on eBay, match it up to Amazon, and then it's just going to be a much easier match.
I would love to see sometime. I don't know if you can do it today or not, because we didn't really talk about this, but I'd love to see you go to eBay and like use OAXray. I don't know if you can do it today or not, if you got the software set up, but I've actually had quite a bit of success. Board games and different video games, media, books. I've actually done very well on eBay. It's time consuming the way I do it without software, but you will not believe how many opportunities are on eBay to flip on Amazon FBA. Now the profits aren't huge, for me at least, because I'm not an expert with it, but there's, I've got at least 5 or 10 different board games that I look for, video games, books, especially books, because there's like a million gazillion of them that you can actually find on eBay cheap, $5, $7, and put on Amazon FBA for 30, 35. So have you ever used OAXray to snipe off of eBay? And I'm not asking this like I really don't know if you've ever done it before, because I know you do it a lot with like the retail stores and whatnot.
So it's definitely something that I did more in the past. Now with Amazon requiring receipt or requiring some type of source, now I'm kind of wary about it, because if it comes off of eBay, you really don't know where it came from. But some items I have definitely bought off of eBay, because people will not look at both marketplaces. So you'll definitely find that something can be half the price on eBay that it is on Amazon, and then you can flip those items. So if you find a good category that you're not really worried about the authentic, like books, or definitely books would be an awesome thing. A lot of people flip books and board games and things like that, but I wouldn't go with anything that's like Beats headphones or something. I wouldn't go with something, so because you don't know where that's coming from. So you have to be careful about what you source on eBay. But if I can get a source, that would be the ideal situation.
Cool, man. So let me know if sometime in the future we can do a video doing like a sourcing on eBay, just showing how to use it, because I would love to see how you do it.
Awesome.
Anyways, let me see. I'm getting back to my handy dandy little notes. How challenging, because for me personally, like using different softwares and stuff, really hard to learn, like, or if it's just like overwhelming. Like a lot of times I won't use a software. Like I like softwares that are intuitive and that aren't like super complicated. And like if it is complicated, which sometimes, you know, it's just part of the game, they don't even have like any instructions how to use it. So in your honest opinion, how hard is OAXray if somebody was to jump into it? And be honest here, how hard is it for someone to start using it, or is it a big learning curve? Or
I think that the average person could go to a website, click the button, and they could understand everything on their screen. If there's something that you don't understand, we have a 30-minute walkthrough that we will do with you. And most people don't even use it because it's pretty explanatory. You can figure out what most of the things are pretty easily. So I would think the average person could go to Target or Toys R Us, see one quick video on how to use it, and use it effectively. But you do get better as you use it more. So, I mean, if you're really experienced, there are people doing things with it that I've never even thought of that I meet whenever I'm out. So it's just awesome to see all the different creative ways that people are using it.
dude, I say we dive in, man. Could you show us
Sure.
how to use it?
So let me go over
man.
some
Awesome.
basics.
Before you do, man, let's get the people in the comments, man. We got to get some engagement before you dive in, man, because this is pretty cool. Before, man, going, one of the founders of OAXray, showing us firsthand how to use it. So if you guys want him to do this, you got to do two favors. One, you got to hit the like button because there's 108 people watching live. 1 likes. I'm no mathematician, but things just aren't adding up. And like Terry Berry is saying, and I drive half my audience crazy when I say smash that like button, but I'm going to tell you guys to smash that like button because it's just part of my personality. I got to ask. Let's see. G Nomad or Nomad Life. I love OAXray. I use it for online arbitrage and retail arbitrage. Rhonda says, thank you. People are hitting the like button, man. They want to see this. Up to 50 likes already. Appreciate that. John Paul, like button smashed. A new phone. Yeah, we have more than 4 likes, Jillian. It's time to upgrade. Luxury card score. I see dead people. I do not know what's going on there. Wrong movie. Thrifty Treasures smashed. Hit that like button. Awesome. So people are excited. Pick your screen so everyone can see it. All right, cool. So I see Toys R Us. Let's get this party started.
Cool. So we're going to start on Toys R Us. And before we kind of well, actually, let me just go to a screen that OAXray can be used on. It's just about any screen on the website, but I'm going to go to the deals of the week today and just kind of see what's on here. And since they have big deals from great brands, I'll go there and I'll go to All Thomas Wooden Toys. And if you look at the upper right-hand corner, it says OAXray. And all you do is left click here, and you're going to notice this little pop-up. OAXray is going to start running. And while that's running, I'm going to show you some things. Well, actually, I guess I'll just tell you what's on the screen, and then we can kind of go over more details about what I do before I purchase an item. So as we can see, there's a few colors here. The green lines means it has a positive ROI. And right here where my cursor is, we can see that the ROI on this item is 61%. We can see the sales rank here at 200,000, 298,000, and we can see what the net payout will be. We can also see the Toys R Us price and the Amazon price here. We tell you a little bit more information, like the item is oversized. This is a pretty big item right here. As you can see, the weight is 56 pounds, so you might not want to sell this item just because it's so heavy. And you have your fee breakdown here. I'm not going to go over anything past there. But right here, we can set up a rank, an ROI, and a net profit threshold. If we'd like to, I'm going to put in 100,000 and see if anything comes up here. I'll select this, and I'm going to click on My Buys. And what it's going to do is it's going to filter out anything that does not meet our My Buys criteria, which are rank of 100,000, ROI of 30%. So right here, we can see Toys R Us has this, and we can see both pictures. So we can see that the item matches. But if you see this little teal color, it means the item is out of stock on Toys R Us. So I'm going to click on it anyways, and I'm just going to show you that. Sometimes Toys R Us actually will tell you if the item is in your store for free pickup. So this might not be in store for free pickup for me, but I figured it might be for someone in the audience. So you can take a look at that. And we can click here for the Amazon link and verify everything is correct. But since that's out of stock, let's move on to something that is, or possibly it should be in stock. And it is this little Blaze and a Monster Machine thing. My son loves the Blaze. We're actually watching it at like 15 minutes ago. So this is good time. So on Toys R Us, this item is selling for $4.98. We have a limit of 5. It's not available in my local store, but looks like a little plush toy. I think that's Blaze, if I remember correctly. But here we can see the important parts of the listing that I like to look at are the number of reviews. This thing has 98 reviews. So we know this item is selling 4-star out of 5. So it is actually, yeah, it's actually a really good rating, mostly 5-star. It looks like the prime seller's at $12.99. If I look over here, I recognize a few of these people. They are selling at Merchant Fulfilled. Looks like they might be drop shippers there. I scroll down, I see the sales rank is only 20,000 in toys, so that's pretty good there.
That's an excellent rank.
And dang, it's really lightweight. This is only 2.4 ounces, so it looks like you slide this into a little poly bag, and you are.
What are the odds this is made in China?
pretty high.
2.4 ounces.
Yes, 2. Oh, yes, you're right about that. I completely forgot about that also. So here I am going to, I have a Chrome extension called the fee calculator. So before I actually evaluate anything, I always try to throw it in the fee calculator. Here we have $12.99. I'm actually going to do one more thing before we do this, but it's selling for $12.99. This is going to need a poly bag, and I'm going to guess that, what are you going to do? It's really light, so let's just do 35 cents probably or something like that. The inbound shipping is going to be really low, but I'm going to come back to this sheet. And this is a sheet that I will generally keep on items that I try to purchase online. And it just makes sure that I go through the proper steps before I buy anything for online arbitrage. So in-store cashback for Toys R Us, they have a program called Rewards R Us. Yeah, I just won't pull that up right now. But and then we have a Ebates of 1%. You can actually look that up. I didn't want to do too much clicking, so I don't have that one there. And we have a raise of 7.7% today. And I like to buy things with a credit card that gives you cash back. So our total cash back is approximately 14% today, which means we're going to pay about $4.28 for this unit. So I'm going to put this here, $4.28.
And for the people who aren't using raise.com or Ebates, or you're not signing up for the rewards programs, I mean, that could take a deal from, being iffy, to the competition passing it up to it being a great deal for you.
Definitely. So I've seen raise deals up to 20% off. If you ever source, well, Macy's is not high today, but generally Macy's is about 20%. So there are times when a deal makes absolutely no sense unless you have a gift card. And the reason I like to use a gift card is because some people are not using them. So you're able to squeeze out that additional, and right now it's up to 8%, a little higher than it was before. You're able to squeeze out 8% extra profit from an item that might not be profitable at all or might have a small profit to it. So every penny counts in whenever you're doing this. And if you have not seen Ebates, Ebates also has a program. Let's see if I can. Yeah, they also have a program where, as you can see here, it's 6% extra on Macy's, and Toys R Us today, I believe, is 1%. But all of these percentages add up. Like I showed you here, it's actually additional 14% that you're going to make today. And we're going to do a quick calculation. And on this little tiny plush toy, it's going to be really easy to send in. Your net profit's $3.37, which is approximately 75% return on investment. You're putting in $4.28, you're getting $3.37. And depending on where you are and how much money you have in your business, you might have to purchase items that are a little smaller, a little bit lower cost than if you have a large amount of capital and you can buy the more expensive items. So this is really a range of different people can actually benefit from this, because if you only have a little bit of cash, maybe you're buying the lower cost items that will get you started a lot cheaper.
Nice.
I want to show you guys one more kind of item. So I'm going to go to Target and want to go right here and let OAXray run here. It's going to take a few seconds, but Target has a similar program with their credit card where they give you 5% cash back on whatever you purchase. And you can also use Ebates and the Raise, and you can also use all those different programs. But I'm going to filter by my buys here. And I'm showing you this specifically because I like to find items like this. So I opened up Amazon, opened it up Target. And as Targets load, this is my favorite kind of item because we can see this item's not available for shipping. So that means the whole United States isn't able to find this.
Competition is going to be down.
Competition is down on this item. Now, you can see that it's in stock in my Virginia Beach store, so I can run out and pick this up for $16.99. And one little tip I want to give is you want to bookmark this on your phone because sometimes you'll walk into the store and they'll have this item for 25 bucks. But if you bring in the screenshot or if you bring in the picture of the listing, then they'll say, we'll price match this at $16.99. So that's something that I always keep in mind whenever I'm doing online arbitrage and actually picking it up in the store. So that's one thing you always want to look for. But also, Target is a pretty cool store because they actually tell you what aisle it's in. So,
oh, wow.
So if you have a virtual assistant, you could have them find a bunch of items like this, and they can actually say, these are the 10 items you should be picking up. You know, you can evaluate them, of course. You can go on the Amazon right here, make sure the reviews are okay, make sure the items match, and they can tell you what aisle to go to. So you can literally have 20 or 30 different items, and your virtual assistant can do all of these things, and they can say, go to aisle A19, B76, and you should find these items there. There's going to be 4 in stock, or they can order it online for you. That would be a little bit more advanced, but it is possible. So we have this item here for $16.99, and on Amazon is selling for $43.95. And
wow.
let's see.
117 reviews, man.
Yeah, so this item is really selling at 117, and this is even better reviews than the last item that we just looked at. And we're going to scroll down. I don't know what the rank on that. Okay, 81,000. So reasonable rank.
That's respectable.
Yeah, reasonable rank there. We have 4.5 out of 5 stars. Let me check the Amazon fee calculator. I always like to double check, especially with the fee changes that just came through. And we're at $43.99. This is a little bigger. It's at one pound. Let's see. I'm going to put $1 in at least for the shipping. Could be like $1, maybe $1, $1.50. And we add up our fees. We're going to get approximately. Let me see. Oh, actually didn't do any of that stuff. So let's see. 7.5% back is probably what we're going to get on this item approximately. And so we're going to pay about $16 after all of our credits and all of that good stuff. So on this item, we're not going to quite double our money. It's going to be $15 on $15.26 on a $16 investment. So this is just an awesome ROI for an item that the whole entire country is not going to be able to get because it's only available in certain stores. And I know I've been going, but let me pick one quick.
This is cool, man. I'm really enjoying it, and the people in the comments are they're really enjoying this as well. So keep going, man, for sure. It's really exciting watching you do this.
Okay, cool. So this is another SmackDown ring. It looks looks a little different, but the cool thing is it's 2 different listings. If I'm just want to double check here, and make sure these are 2. Okay, so great. So there's 2 different listings here, so that means we are actually pretty good. And as I scroll down, I see the rank's a little bit higher on this one, 102,000, which is getting a little higher up there, but we still have the margin.
Selling a couple times a day.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not. Oh yeah, and doesn't look like there's too much competition from the buy box. Probably these 2 or 3 people rotating. So you're probably going to sell pretty well on this item. And let me just scroll back, see what the. Sorry about that. See what the prices are. Okay, we're at $16.99 again. It's available at least at one store. If you click on Find Other Stores, you can see which store it's available. Looks like about half the stores have it. Other stores are either out of stock or limited stock. So I can actually see this pretty close to me, the store right next to me. And again, it's $16.99. Copy in that. And we go back to Amazon, and we're going to run our fee calculator again. I'm not sure if these items are exactly the same size, so I always like to double check on the fee calculator, make sure there's nothing strange going on. 1.7. Okay, looks reasonable to ship. Okay, some reason the ASIN didn't go in there, so I'm going to grab that. Copy. And your speed at finding these things will increase dramatically. The first time you do this, you're going to be clicking around, not sure what screen to go to, just like I am a little bit, but you will speed up as you start going. And no, put that in the wrong place. $16 for the product cost, about $1 to ship this item in. No polybag required, it looks like. 13.13.2, pretty small.
I always love when you don't have to polybag it.
Yes. So, yeah, polybagging is the bane of my existence, is putting those things in a poly bag, especially when they're odd shaped items. And you're like, man, this is just so hard to fit in the poly bag the right way. It just takes you so much time. Yeah, I like items that are straightforward, like that, that Blaze in a Monster Machine would fit perfectly in a poly bag. You just throw it in there, zip it up, and you're good to go.
Stretch wrap an item if it doesn't fit in a poly bag? Would that still be considered polybagging or no?
So I have one of the, I don't even know what that thing is called, but one of the, it comes in a big roll, and you can cut it to any size. I forgot what that thing is called. And you press it, and it heat seals it. Nice. Yeah, the heat sealing one. So I have one of those for anything that's big or long. But to be honest, I try not to mess with those items. So you probably have less competition on items that you have to polybag, because I know I try to avoid them. But as you can see here, we see again, we have almost 100% net profit, not quite. So if you can squeeze out any pennies, if you can figure out, actually, if anybody has another way besides what I mentioned here, Ebates and the credit card, or Ebates, Target credit card, or Raise, actually throw that in the comments. I'm curious if there's another way that I'm missing to actually get cash back or get another discount. You can also search. I like to do a Google search of Target sales, and then sometimes you'll get promo codes or something, but that doesn't always work. So if you have any additional ways,
somebody awesome. Mentioned Victor Hurdle mentioned Top Cashback.
Okay,
he said he likes it more than Raise.
Okay, so I will have to check that one out. And that is what I'm going to do for the screen sharing this second. I think I stopped. Oh, wait a minute. Did I stop the screen sharing?
Here, let me, yeah, awesome. Let me take you off.
I've just been
really cool. Dude, that was awesome, man, showing how it works. So literally what you do is you go to the website. So what you did is that you can do the same thing on eBay as well, same thing on Amazon. Is that true?
Same thing on Amazon, same thing on eBay, and there's 400 plus other sites that you can do it on. So you know, I just went to the main ones that everyone would recognize, but there are tons of stores that, you know, are more niche stores that you're going to be able to navigate.
So my understanding of the value of this software is, for example, if I wanted to go to Toys R Us and, you know, maybe I type in WWE and there's like 25 different products or whatever. If I didn't have the software, what I would have to do is I'd have to take the ASIN, right? I'd have to go over to Amazon, figure out what the prime price is, then figure out what the profit is. And like, it's going to take at least five minutes, probably maybe 3 to 5 minutes on each one to find it. Whereas your software, it will automatically analyze the whole page, and it's color coded, right? Based on the criteria that you put in, because you can probably set it to certain ranks and margins, I'm sure.
Yes.
So it'll just analyze the whole entire page for you. Gosh, it's like cheating, man. You know?
It's definitely a way that's going to save you a ton of time. And if you've ever done it the frustrating way, which is copying the title, pasting that in, figuring out which is the correct listing, I mean, it is very time consuming. So it's just awesome to be able to quickly go through things and find items that are profitable. And you're able to go wherever the sales are. So that's kind of, you're not just going to an entire site. You're able to find, okay, there's a 2-for-1 on Ninja Turtles today. So let me go find the 2-for-1 Ninja Turtles. And the things that I like to find are actually temporary sales, something that don't last forever. So a markdown where Target sends, Toys R Us or Target send you a list and they say for the next 4 hours, Disney, not Disney, because that's not a good example, but Barbie or something is 50% off today just for 4 hours between noon and 4 o'clock. Check this out. Those are where I like to find the best deals. Sometimes you can do clearance also, but if I do clearance, I like to buy out the clearance section versus just buying 1 or 2, because if I see the clearance, other people might see the clearance. So I don't want competition. I try to buy it out if possible.
So this is cool, man. I mean, this will definitely speed up the time that it takes for you to find deals. And then when you do find a deal, just a click of a button, whether that's your virtual assistant getting the deals for you and then you go and finalize them, it's a click of a button. And typically, are you focusing more on the store pickups, or do you, let me rephrase that. Do you do both? Do you do store pickups and you get it shipped to your house sometimes? So you can technically like not even leave your house and get products sent to you? Is that possible?
So you can send everything to yourself. I actually had someone call me today and they were in New Zealand. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to sell on the United States market, but they were like, how do I sell in this huge United States market? I live in New Zealand. So I was telling them, you can do online arbitrage. You can send your items to a prep center. I don't know if you've ever talked about a prep center, but you can send your items to a prep center. And then from there, they're going to send it on to Amazon. They're going to inspect it. They're going to do all of those things. So if you can find a prep center that's good for you to work with, you never have to touch products. Yeah, Prime Prep Zero, awesome. They're in a tax-free state, so you don't have to worry about it. What's that?
Are they in Maine or New Hampshire?
They're New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Okay.
New Hampshire, they're awesome. And I mean, you save on the taxes, you just save on everything. So you can actually start your business from anywhere in the world. I don't know if you have people, but people from Jamaica have called me, everywhere have just talked to me about this, and you can do this from anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. You know, just like anything else, guys out there, I want to say, you know, there's obviously risks involved, just like eBay and Amazon. And, you know, a couple things of advice I would say is, number one, make sure it's not restricted, right?
Yes, definitely.
Number two, especially if you're new, I would go wider versus, just because nowadays on Amazon, it is a different game, and, you know, brands are getting restricted quite often. So you definitely have to be a little more careful. And the cool thing is, I like how you showed an example with I forgot what it was, the Thomas little, I don't know if it was a stuffed animal or the train. It was only $3. So, I mean, a lot of times when I think of sourcing online arbitrage, I think of having to spend 15 or 16, like that WWE item.
Yeah.
Out there as well that you can pick up for sub $5. You know, in general, I would say this strategy would take a little more capital. But just like, you know, the example that Ted showed with the little Thomas truck, I mean, you can still pick things up for $3 to $5, which is the average that I typically spend, and I know a lot of my audience spends at a thrift store. So it's pretty cool, man. Back to the example of, you know, breaking down on the spreadsheet how to hit your goals. A lot of times it comes back to being able to hit your targets in terms of how many items that you need to source per day, right? Because like Ted shared, you know, the $25 example, if you wanted to hit $1 million in a year, you'd have to source, you know, based on I think it was 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, 60 items per day, right? And now that's a crazy big example, but, you know, I think online arbitrage serves you that opportunity to be able to hit your targets with, you know, based on whatever you're doing, just because you can leverage your time so much. Again, it's not easy. It does definitely take in general, it's going to take a little more capital, and there's risks involved, but business where there's no risk, right? I don't think that exists. I think it's a great opportunity. I think the leveraging, and you mentioned Prime Zero Prep as well. I mean, and so definitely appreciate you sharing. It's 7:51 Eastern time right now, man. What do you think about, I don't know if you have anything else to say on what we were talking about, but I wanted to dive into the free book giveaway, man, because you know, we have 103 people watching live right now. What's going to happen right now?
So so let's do Online arbitrage. Let's see, something that I mentioned. Okay, name one of the items that I showed. I showed 3 different items, I believe, tonight. So put one of those 3 in the comments. So if you weren't paying attention, you're not going to know what to put in the comments. And you can moderate, whose you select or however that works. And I was able to
randomly.
Sounds good. I was able to get that one out last week, and I don't have confirmation that was received, but I'm pretty sure everything, went well with the one we sent out last week or the week before.
And how much is that book worth on the open market, the online arbitrage book by our friend Chris Green?
This is $75 right here, but there's so much more value in reading it. So read it first, and if you want to throw it up there after, I mean, we are in a resale community.
Right. Yeah, you could make some money on that. I'm gonna look on Amazon right now if there's anybody selling that used. I'm sure somebody's out there selling it. So what is it? Online arbitrage.
Yeah, you type that in, it's probably the first thing, I think.
Yeah, right. And if you guys don't know Chris Green, he's like the godfather of like online arbitrage, and like he was like one of the first ones to really like bring it to like the masses in a sense. I don't know, what was online arbitrage as competitive before he brought it to market, or like
I'll be honest with you, in 2011, before this book came out, items, you could sell an item and the price would be different on Walmart and Amazon or one of these sites for sometimes 6 months or a year. That's how long a product would stay viable. Now it's a game of finding an item, selling it, and, getting out. Generally, you have a couple weeks or a couple months, but you used to have a lot of time. There was no price adjustments that kind of happened. It took forever. Not much competition at all.
Selling it, the lowest one, it's a 550,000 rank. So the book's probably selling maybe once every couple days or so, which isn't bad for a book that's 4 years old now, but still super relevant. The lowest price is $74.95. So after fees, you could literally win this book, give yourself, knowledge that's worth who knows what. $50 after fees on that book. How cool is that, man? In the comment section right now, I'm gonna choose. I want you to tell me when to stop, because I'm going to stop my mouse when you tell me, and I'm gonna choose the one who's to.
Okay, let's do a countdown. Then we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Choose.
All right. Okay, we've got Macon Bacon saying the WWE wrestling ring.
Sweet.
Macon Bacon watching a little Steve Rakin. Sorry, I had to. I got into my old hip hop days. So Macon Bacon won the game. I love that name, Macon Bacon watching Rakin. So you won the book, Online Arbitrage. You gonna ship that out to him? How are you guys gonna get connected?
So just shoot me a PM with your address, and we will get this out to you, or I will get it out to you within a day or two. You should have this by today's Thursday. You'll have it by next week, mid next week, maybe Wednesday. Do
you want them to send it to your email, or?
Just shoot it to me on Facebook. Tedrick Paulk. I am the only one. TEDRICPAULK.
Down below as well. But congratulations, Macon Bacon. And also, let's you said you're going to give one more away for the people who aren't watching live.
Yes.
So we're going to give one more away, which is really, really cool. And these books aren't cheap, so definitely very grateful that you're doing this for my audience. After the show ends, the live comments are going to disappear, and you're going to be able to leave another comment. So let's choose one word or a phrase that you want everybody to type, and if they type this phrase in, which is going to be the after comments, we're going to choose a random winner. So you're going to have to pick that word, and we'll pick it. What do you want to give them, like a week or so to leave as many comments as they want?
Let's give them 7 days. 7 days a week. It's good.
Can they leave as many comments as they want, or one, or what are your thoughts?
It's going to be a lot of comments to go through. Leave as many as you want. I'll take the time.
So what should that word be after the show?
Let's make it 3 words, and let's do source from home.
Source from home. So that's all you got to do, guys. After the show, in the comments, not now, but after, source from home, type that in. You can type it as many times as you want. A winner, and again, just send him a PM. We'll probably connect with you. So cool, source from home. So if you guys want to give OAXray a try, Ted and I behind the scenes formed a little partnership deal where we're actually going to give you 50% off your first month of OAXray, and all you have to do is go over to www.oaxray.com/Rakin. Yeah, you'll get your first month 50% off. And I know Ted said something you mentioned behind the scenes. You have a no questions asked money back guarantee as well.
Definitely take your first month and use it to your heart's content. Hopefully you can make way more than $50. I want you to make as much as possible so that you're like, man, I cannot give this up because I made $5,000 this month. So use it as much as possible and actually find as many items as you can.
Yeah, give it a shot, guys. I mean, you've got to give things a shot in life. You've got to try it. And, you know, the times that I've been most successful, and I'm sure looking back on your lives as well, guys, the times that you've had success, you took a leap, right? You took a leap of faith and you said, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to see how it works. And you never really know. You might be, 5 feet away from hitting gold. Online arbitrage just might be your thing. You might enjoy it. You might really like it. And intrigues me. And I'm looking forward to playing around with the OAXray software as well. So check that out in the description as well. You have to go through that link to get that deal. So definitely appreciate that if you do. Trying to see what else I wanted to mention. In the future, I think we should do another video, man. I don't know if you'd be down for it, but I think it would be cool if we did like a 30-minute video, like going through eBay, trying to find deals live. Like, I think that would be really, really fun. And like, let the audience, like if we find a good deal, let them just take the deal. It'll be like a race to see who gets it.
That would be really cool, actually. Yeah, let's schedule something like that out. Actually, we'll see each other at ASD. So if anybody else is going to be there, give us a shout out at ASD if you're gonna.
You have a booth over there, right?
I definitely have a booth, and if anybody is welcome to stop by, do a demo with me, or just chat about Amazon. I love talking Amazon, so just come over to the booth and hang out for a while.
Cool, man. Yeah, if anyone else is going to ASD, drop a comment below. I would love to meet you as well. I'll be there with my partners in the green room, the Bonafide Hustler, the College Picker, including, we have about 50 or 60 green room members who are already scheduled in, who have booked their hotels that are going to be there. So
nice.
It's going to be a lot of people. I think Steven Peterson's going to be there. Andy Slammons, I think he's going to be there, I believe. Chris Green, I don't know, he might be there. There's going to be a lot of cool people there. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be really awkward too, because there's so many people I associate with on the internet, and it's like we have this internet relationship, and then you see them in real life and you're like, oh.
I've been talking to you for 8 months,
So anyways, guys, yeah, appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed this content, give it a like. Definitely lets us know that we're doing a good job and helps to get this video out to more people to help them. Leave a comment below. Again, what are those 3 words that people have to type in the comments to win the book? What, source from home?
Yes, source from home.
So put that in the comments after the video's done. Source from home. We're going to choose a winner. You can type it in as many times as you want. Just beware. I don't know if YouTube has spam rules. You might get your account banned if you type it like 1,000 times. So maybe keep it to 5 times. Also, if you liked interacting with Ted as well, he's got a YouTube channel, which is OAXray on YouTube.
Yep.
And he's got a lot of cool videos over there. Not only does he talk about Amazon and different ways to make money, but he talks about merch by Amazon and virtual assistants and outsourcing and putting systems in line. It's a really cool YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out as well. But yeah, guys, appreciate you watching. Any final words, man, before we end this broadcast and we see each other in Vegas?
Everybody get out there, and no matter how you do it, make some money on Amazon this year. You have to get started, whether it's thrifting, whether it's retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. You have to get out there and find your first item, and that's it.
Just go out there and make it happen, guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. We got to make this happen, man, doing the live sourcing with OAXray. So
we will.
All right, cool. So, all right, guys, thanks. We'll see you See you later on and have a great night. Bye.